Let it build up a little bit, Spoon. We're gonna let it build up a little bit. Little Jay-Z before we get on. Little Jay-Z before we get on. How you feel about it, Spoon? Little Jay-Z, you all right with that?
Yeah, Jay-Z smooth.
Yeah,
I
little
dig it.
Jay-Z. Little Jay-Z. We don't own the rights, but they won't shut us down this round. You know, that last time they tried to get us. Always something, man.
All the time.
The customer. We let it build up. We got two in the building. We're letting it build up a little countdown. Let people get in here. I know we're usually in on Wednesdays. Little Jay-Z in the background. We don't own the rights. I guess that's like the Facebook thing to do, so you don't get pulled down. You feel me?
Right. Facebook's always on our stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mario Moore, I see you. Mario Moore in the building. What's going on? What's going on? Mm-hmm. We got these Turkey Day leftovers coming. Oh. On. That means it ain't stepped on. Dig me. Hey, it's the Dope Boys of the Year. Man, they're on the house. What's going on? A day late. You know, the holidays, things going on and whatnot. But we had to make sure we touch on. We had a Wednesday football, Spoon. Is that what we had? Wednesday evening football.
Yeah.
With the Steelers versus the Ravens practice squad. Insane. Yeah. I thought RG3 would play better, though. For sure. My Muslim said trying to deal with this season. Man, we all are, man. We're going to talk about a little bit of that, man. We're going to break away from the norm. The Cowboys are playing on Thursday. Typically we show up here. We go through the games, injury reports, yada, yada, yada. We talk about who we're playing next, which that's getting pushed all the way to Tuesday now, right? Soon we're playing next Tuesday, I believe. Yep. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. If you're in here, as always, get that good plug. If you're on Facebook, awesome. Give it a like, give it a share over there for our YouTube, Stargate Podcast over there on YouTube. Hit that sub button as well. Get it out there on Twitter and whatnot. Get the shares up, get the game built up. But yeah, man. They built us up a little bit, so we're like, played those Eagles good with the new cheat. Then we, them Steelers, them undefeated now 11-0 Steelers, right? And we played them tough with Double G. So going into this Turkey Day with or then we go to Minnesota with Dalton, do our thing. So we're like, okay, here we go. And and it was all good till the fourth quarter, about 12 minutes left, and there it went. I don't know, man. I've been a Cowboys fan a long time. I'm 42. I just can't think of a play call. Would you in the game, the defense kind of coming around and playing well. And the idea on a 4th and 10 is let's run basically a reverse to our wide receiver with the punter being the basically only guy to throw the ball to. Now, I know that Goodwin was open behind, but the play was not designed. I mean, the coaching staff came out and said the play is not even designed for that. It's just throw it to the punter. That's it. So, for all intents and purposes, that was the season.
Right. Pretty much.
There. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I get it. 4-7 for a couple of those guys. We know the Eagles lost again, but I mean, let's be clear. It's the season now. Like that's it, right? Spoon, put a fork in it.
I mean, mathematically, we can't visualize. I've been put a fork in it. But mathematically, we are still in it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, but there's no Zach Martin for a couple of weeks, right? So I mean. You lost your starting two, right? So you lost your starting 2 tackles, all right? And then, you had to play without your swing tackle and Cam Irving for a while. So Cam Irving came back. Now Cam Irving's going to be out for a game or two. Zach Martin, your all-world guard, went out to tackle. He's hurt now, and he's going to be out for a number of weeks.
Right.
I mean, just from that standpoint alone, for me, I'm like, all right, so we're back to what? We're back to Steele and Redmond. My goodness. Yeah, Salazar with the okay, it's okay. That part. And you know what? Hey, man, we're going to open it up. We're going to talk. I do love the Facebook profile pic there. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, we might touch on that tonight, man. It's like I said, man. We called it Cowboys Turkey Day legovers for a reason. Man, we're just gonna chop it up and wrap it up with y'all. See what y'all want to talk about. Let's talk about our feelings now. As we're sitting at 3-8, 3-8 with 5 games left. I mean, if you run the table right, you can go. Starting with the Ravens, obviously you can go 8-8. I just don't see it now. If the offensive line was intact, or we had won, even albeit, I like to look. And I'm not Team Tank. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm not saying all of the guys. Let's go out there. Let's make sure I'm not Team Tank. I'm not saying that by any stretch. But at this point, I'm just like. I mean, there's only so much you can do. Oh, yeah, Salazar, I already know, bro. I've already seen like the different jerseys and stuff you have to wear over the years. That's why I love it. I knew you had to. Even on the same token, everybody talks about losing, both of our tackles in that first drive. Spoonie, we had a drive in the second half where we lost our top 2 remaining cornerbacks. Yeah. I'm like, I mean, what else can you do? There's only so much we can do, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like every time we go forward, the next game we go backward. We can never go forward. The Steelers game woke us up. We went on the bye week. We beat Minnesota.
Yeah,
we saw. Hey, it looks different. It looks different, but
felt different, right? Felt different, even.
Yeah, it felt different either. But at the end of the day, it's still the same results. And we played the Redskins game, and the Redskins that was a game that we were supposed to win, a division game at that. And we lost it. And now that we lost it by a point or a field goal, we lost bad. They came after halftime and just took us by storm.
Yeah. But I mean, you're still fighting in the game though. It's 2016 with over 12 minutes left, and then here comes the wonky fake punt call, and then of course, I mean, it was all downhill from that. A fair point there from Mario as well, saying he thought Dalton would audible skill players in better position. I mean, Dalton is Dalton at the end of the day, So
dealing with injuries is one thing, but dealing with
the resident Eagles fan in the building,
dealing with injuries and play calling, that's the most consistent thing all year. And at the end of the day, like I said, we're not saying tank on purpose, but we're losing convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, L's are L's. Like I said, I mean, you got 5 games left on the schedule. Obviously, you got the Ravens up next. They'll be getting, they won't be playing with these quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson will be back in the fold, and we'll see what happens. Mathematically, it's not out. Again, for me, when Zach Martin went down, and we're talking 2-3 weeks, I'm just like, man, I just look at this offensive line. I mean, I just don't know how we're going to get the job done. So you got Ravens, Bengals, on the road for the Ravens, on the road for the Bengals, home for the Niners, home for the Eagles, and then we finish up the year against the Giants. For me, as we talked the previous show before this one, I said, man, no matter what, you had to sweep the division. I thought to win this division, you have to sweep these 3 games, which you've already dropped the ball. Excuse me, against the former Washington Redskins, the football team, right? If you was going to drop a game, it had to be to the Ravens. To me, I thought you could drop to the Ravens, win the rest, probably get you in. You've already dropped that one. Not that the Ravens is a must-win, honestly. But I do think after the Ravens, you got to win the rest of the way if the Cowboys are going to get in at that point. If they're going to get in, you can lose next week, and then you got to win the last 4. Bengals, Niners, Eagles, and Giants. I think you have to win the last 4 to get in. That'll put you at 7-9.
Listen, fans is funny. Quinn Cooley, love you, brother. I want to say this to you, man. Losing, the Eagles lost Carson Wentz. When the Eagles lost Carson Wentz, thankfully you had Nick Foles. Mm-hmm. But guess what? You didn't lose Carson Wentz, your offensive line, this player, that player. You didn't have 13 guys go to IR like the Cowboys did. You lost a quarterback, but you had a good backup. And at the end of the day, it is called the next man up. Mm-hmm. And thankfully, you had experienced quarterback and Nick Foles, who has success as far as the one great year he had with the Eagles with the They went 7-0. And, you had somebody back there. When it comes to the Cowboys, not only did we lose Dak, we did lose Dalton for a minute, right? We lost the offensive line, right? It's been bad. And here's the thing. No fan should never celebrate any opposing team injury at all. So if any Cowboys fan did that to Philadelphia, shame on them. Shame on them. But end of the day, like I said, it's been a bad year. None of us believe in tanking, but like I said, we don't have to say tank. We're losing regardless. That play calling, too many injuries. There's no talent on the field. There is talent on the field, but we just can't put it together. And that's what it is. We are winning 4 games. We haven't even won 2 games straight yet.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's just a lot of things that we needed to not happen have happened. Obviously,
right.
I said it. It's funny because as soon as Dak went down, I said it immediately. We had the game thread going. As soon as Dak went down, I said the season's over. I said it then. And I get there was a Daltons and everything else, but I was just like, I felt that way. I really did. And now fast forward to where we are now. In case in point, if it wasn't for it's so eerily resemblance to 2015, whenever Romo went down, and we were just. No matter what, we were like 4-12, and we were like 4 wins or whatever, and we still had like chance to kind of get in there. And the only thing that really for me at this point that I hate about this for the Cowboys is you are in it. You have to play to win. The coaches, the team, they have to play to win, no matter about the injuries, because you are in it. And
right.
The fact that we are still in it kind of has us left in purgatory. So like we're not going to see Bradley Anae. We're not going to see Reggie Robinson the second. And some of these younger guys, if the season was kind of out of our grasp, maybe we get a chance to see them and see what we have in them and evaluate them moving forward. But right. we're caught in that catch-22 where we can't really do that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Golden Heart checking in over here on YouTube. Appreciate you, brother. Same thing I said earlier. For me, it's not about can we win it. Yes, mathematically we're there, as Spoonie said earlier. Mathematically, yes. But my goodness, with both tackles out for a couple more weeks now, I'm just like, still, y'all, still has been on plays just completely whiffing and not blocking nobody. It's pretty maddening out there. I think even as the Anaes that we're talking about, maybe we get a chance to see Double G Gilbert, play a little bit more or whatnot. But I just, it's just one of those things where we can't really go all the way in on the, let's evaluate these other guys and maybe start really getting ready for the draft because we're still stuck in limbo of, well, hey, if everybody loses next week and we win, guess what? Boom, there you are, right back. Therein lies the issue. To quote Kevin Garnett, anything's possible.
And see, here's the thing. We'll end up beating a team like Baltimore. We'll get excited. In it. Yeah, we beat Baltimore. We could beat the Bengals. We'll play the Bengals, and we'll look bad. That's been happening.
And the Bengals almost beat the Giants.
Exactly. And here's another thing: Baltimore, and God bless the players. Hopefully, they all recover with this situation. With this situation going on, but they're having a short week. They got to come next Tuesday, right? This felt like another bye week. So if we would have beat the Redskins, this would have been the perfect timing. Like, damn, we beat the Redskins. Baltimore was the one we was worrying about because of their situation, and they're playing more in a shorter time frame than we are.
Right.
Because we will be playing tomorrow.
It lines up for us.
Now, see, the team that we supposed to have beaten for this point right here, we lost to. Now, if we beat Baltimore, yeah, we're still in the race. Again, you can't look at it. We beat Baltimore, then we're going to beat the Bengals. We're going to beat the Giants. Because, again, every game is different. Every game is different.
Yeah, and some of that obviously is more. We're playing that we saw in Minnesota from Kellen Moore, right? It turned into for better or worse, right? It kind of turned into some, those things again that I've talked about for weeks on end. Once we get to that 35-yard line in, Kellen just has this weird, out of left field, right field, whichever field you like best, play call. It's like, what are we doing here? You know, so yeah, man. I mean, it was you know, just one of those things. I don't know, man. So, you know, it's like, well, does Killamore bounce back and have a good play call, you know, call a good game, you know, against them, and we're able to block it up a little bit. But again, Steele's there. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Steele's going to be your starting right tackle. And at the end of the day, I just for me. I mean, what's your confidence in Steele against the Ravens, guys? In the comment section, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about Steele being your starting right tackle? 1 being terrible, 10 being fantastic, fine. Spoon, what do you think? 1 to 10 with Steele starting at right tackle.
1 is terrible.
Yeah.
I can't go to 0.
Throw it out.
Worse than terrible.
I mean, throw it out there, Spoon. However you want to give it a number.
-1. So it'd be 1, 0, going backwards, then -1. That's how bad he is. Oh my, who is Roger? You know
the
what?
The antagonist is in the building as he calls himself. He says he gives Steele a 6. Okay, so 60%. 60%. Okay,
just for that number right there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm at a 3. You know, I'm like, well, he's played 8 or 9 games, right? I mean, he's played some games. You know, and it gets us back into with Steele over there, depending on what kind of blitz package you want to bring and whatnot, it's going to turn into, hey, we got to get rid of the ball very quickly, get it out quickly, but we don't need Andy Dalton to turn into Captain Check down though either.
Exactly. Listen, here's another thing. Steele has to play. Listen, play. Your last name says Steele, right?
Yeah.
Before, like, you don't have to be a Pro Bowl player, but just for that game, try to stand out a little bit. I mean, Connor McGovern just starting to come in there, and he's doing his thing. Right. Not a badass doing his thing. So again, we understand that there's no veteran lineman out there. Now that Zach Martin is out, and I'm thinking for the year as well.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Smoke.
Listen, like I said, end of the day, when it all boils down to it, the guy, there's nothing but backups in there. He's playing like the worst backup there. And let's just be real. When we hear comments like this guy's coming back like night, oh thank God, get Steele out of there. That's how bad he's playing. Yeah. That would get your quarterback killed.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, let's get a little creative with the play calling, whether, and I like this, as Mario says, man, move the pocket. I like move the pocket. Yeah, I mean, let's roll that thing out. Unfortunately, what we have seen from Kellen Moore for, the past year and up until now is he's not interested in moving the pocket. So things that you think that we would do to help, our tackle situation, we just don't. Forget just moving the pocket. How about let's get, I talked about 12 personnel a lot, Spoon. I've talked about, hey, let's get the tight ends over there, whether they're going out or not. Let's get a good chip off the tight end, coming out the gate, and do some things. Obviously we do put the running back in a lot of, if you go look at the tape, we do use the running back a lot in pass protection. But in pass pro, they're just looking there. Well, they got 3 different guys from 2 different areas coming. You can't do it. Send them out to the tackle and let them get a good chip, and then let them get out into their route or something. I don't know. I mean, some of this stuff, I just think at the end of the day is elementary football. And I don't know, who to blame when it comes to this pass pro at times. To me, I mean, I'm going to put on the head coach now, because the head coach, has these kind of calls once they're installing the game plan and whatnot. And for what it looks like to me is that, Mike McCarthy doesn't really care to help the tackles a whole lot. And they just don't. I mean, forget the screen. I mean, even when we try to run the screen, Blanco, it's terrible. It's super terrible.
Right.
Super duper terrible.
Listen, as I said before, this is evaluation year. I know this team will get better next year. Oh my God, the 80. Greg. Here's the thing, Greg. Greg hit it on the head. If you go back to the '89 Dallas Cowboys, the year of Troy Aikman,
Steve Walsh. No. That was Steve Walsh's win.
Steve Walsh, excuse me. Steve Walsh.
Steve Walsh got that win.
Steve Walsh. Oh my God. OMG. If you saw the '89 season, this right here is like this. That's what it's like.
Mm.
Just like that.
But
because I remember when they had the story when Jimmy Johnson came in and he's looking at the players that are there. He's like, why this guy's here? He should have been left the game. X, Y, and Z. You had guys just stealing money on that team. Put it that way. Michael Irvin was Jimmy Johnson's snitch. He told him, I want you to tell me all the players. You know how I run my team in Miami with the Hurricanes. I want you to name every player that should be here and not here. Irvin had a list. All these guys should not be here. They were gone.
Yeah, but I mean, I like this. Look, but I do look. I mean, that's so far back. We ain't got that in house right now. Back. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I like this from Jody. And look, Jody, man, I pulled my hair out in a couple post game shows that I did. Shout out to my guy Jay Tuck and shout out to Big Game James. I did a couple post game shows and we talked about this extensively on both of their channels. CFO, if you don't follow them, Cowboys fans only. Then of course, Big Game James, you can find him, both of them on YouTube. And we talked about this extensively. I mean, a lot of people want to blame. I want to kind of get into this and see what you think here, Spoon, right? Because a lot of people have been talking about, well, Zeke's not the same, this, that, the third. You paid him $90 million. Well, I mean, now the coach has got to call your number two. The coach has got to call your number two. And on 4th and inches, you decide to not run it with your $90 million running back. And on 2, you do decide to throw the ball. Now, look, we can say it was pass interference. They missed the call, but you left it up to the refs. And you didn't throw it to your guy that you just paid at wide receiver in Amari Cooper. You threw it to the rookie. I mean, look, if you're going to throw the ball, fine. You want me to stomach that you're going to throw the ball on 4th and inches or call it 4th and 1. Let it be the guy at wide receiver that you just paid $20 million to, Amari freaking Cooper, not the rookie, right? Look, and I love CeeDee Lamb. I banged the table. I'm happy we have CeeDee Lamb, but that's not the look. Like, it's those kinds of things from Kellen Moore where I'm like, then the next, and literally as they were lining up, I'm like, man, just quarterback sneak. Do it. We watched quarterback Tom Brady, Cam Newton, Peyton Manning at times even. Just goose the quarterback, go over to get it, and goose the center, go over there and get it. Case in point, the very next time we have 4th and inches, what they do? Quarterback sneak and get it. Like, they're trying to play chess at times when it should just be checkers. And then when it should be checkers, they try to play chess. And that's very, very – I get it that Kellen Moore is a young, quote-unquote, play caller. But, man, it's it takes me back to where Garrett, we were out here kind of criticizing Garrett about when he was coming out saying, hey, man, I don't call the plays. They were like, oh, no, Garrett, you were. This is different than the first 3 games that Kellen Moore called. Well, let's fast forward to a year later. Hey, maybe Garrett was actually telling the truth. But look, you have to give the ball to Zeke. If you're on 4th and inches, you paid him to go get that yard that you need or inches. I definitely agree with that. Great comment. Man, Spoon, the 4th and 3rd to CeeDee Lamb.
No, here's the thing. I don't have it's a great comment, but here's my issue. We can go years back when Gabby was here. And every time it was 4th and 1, everybody knew we'd be giving the ball to Zeke. When we didn't get it, a lot of us fans would be like, "What? They know we're gonna run the ball. We're not creative enough. They know our stuff. They're gonna give it to Zeke all the time. They know that, right? Sometimes you got to make them. You got to keep them off balance and do something different. Well, in this case here, they did something different since McCarthy's been here. He's been very creative, going for 4th down. I don't have an issue because CeeDee Lamb has been great this year. Of course, but I agree with you. BJ throwing a Cooper might have been the better option, or quarterback sneak, or whatever. But at the end of the day, everybody knows number 21. Number 21 is not himself because he doesn't have number 70. He doesn't have number 77. He doesn't have number 52. And we go there. He have his lineman. You need your lineman. Zeke is not invisible. All right. When you have guys on that offensive line, and again, we played against the Redskins defensive line,
Mario,
which we have said in the past.
I'm with you. Go ahead.
Again, we have said in the past, this Redskins defensive line is going to be a problem. They probably have the best front 4 in the NFL right now as we speak. And again, it has shown. Mm-hmm. It's serious. Yeah. Their front 4 versus our backup offensive line. Let's be honest. Paint the picture. 4th and 1. Of course they're gonna. You see Zeke lined up in the back there. You know they're ready for Zeke, and they can get through because the line cannot hold up the block.
Right.
Again, quarterbacks need a little bit more different.
Again, the quarterback sneak is
right
what
up.
the call should have been.
Yeah, it should have been quarterback.
It should have been quarterback sneak. And again, and I get it, right? Because I mean, the pass it would have got caught if not for the pass interference. But whenever you give the refs an inch, they might take a mile, and that's what they did. They didn't call it, and boom, there it is. You know, a rookie. Look, and think about it in NBA terms, right? A rookie's not going to get that call on fourth down. And this is another reason why you put Amari Cooper out there, because Amari Cooper probably does get that flag called. And those are the things in the game, with the end of the game, that you have to think about when you're having these kind of play calls and what they do. So again, I absolutely wanted them to go for it on fourth. I'm not mad on that play that they went for it. I'm not mad at it by any stretch of the imagination. I absolutely hated the personnel and play call.
Now, I want to say this real quick, because a lot of fans keep comparing Zeke to a lot of players, the other running back. Here's the thing. Yes, when it comes to guys like Derrick Henry or Cook in Minnesota, the offensive line may not be as good as the Cowboys' offensive line when it started there. But their starting offensive line is 3 times better than our backup offensive line. That's the key thing. We all can rank the Cowboys line with any other team. If the Cowboys are in the past, Cowboys were always 1, Eagles was 2. Then Eagles was 1, we're 2. Tennessee could be 5, coach could be 6. End of the day, they're not having backup offensive linemen blocking for their quarterback and they start running back.
I mean, we're down to we're basically down to our 5th and 6th offensive tackle, right?
Yeah.
You had your center. You had your center retire, your starting center get hurt. You're playing a 4th-round rookie, which, by the way, is doing very well. And I told people back when he first started playing, I said, if you ever go on the field, he's going to be your guy. As far as run blocking at the center position, he is doing fantastic, by the way. Yeah. And now that we're seeing Connor McGovern, he's doing pretty well. 4th and 1, there you go, right there. My center, Connor McGovern, let me go get this yard. You know, now look, it's those kinds of things. Again, the right play call for me, and I'm a staunch believer in this. 4th and inches, your quarterback's over 6 feet tall. You goose the center, you fall forward. Man, I watched Tom Brady do it for 20 years. Yeah, and go look at what he does, and that's just what you do. You know, again, Kellen Moore, like a la Jason Garrett, gets a little too cute at times. I don't care if you're the smartest guy in the room. I need results. And again, case in point, the very next time you had 4th and inches, you went quarterback sneak and you got it. I mean, this coach. I gotta do it again. Yeah. This coaching staff, to a certain extent, gave the Redskins 3 starting field positions of the 33, the 28, and the 20. Right. On our side of the field. My goodness.
And that's about, you know, even with the punt, with the fake punt. You know, I like the call, but not where we was at. It should have been when we was more further down the field. And then right after that, they score, and then they got Sweat with the defensive touchdown over the pass deflection.
Hold on. And on that play, guess who didn't get blocked? Sweat. Guess who didn't block him? Still didn't block nobody. Like, you go back and say, still just did like this. It didn't block anybody on that play.
Here's the thing.
Hell of a play from Sweat, though. Hell of a play to jump up, bat the ball, get it fair. Yeah. But I mean, if still just jabbed him one time, it never happens.
our offensive line is making defensive players come out their shell and become that star potential player. That's how bad we are. I would love to see other running backs and quarterbacks play behind our line.
I like this right here. I like this from Jacques, and there's something, and I have something for that, because if you watch the tape on Zeke, he leaves a lot of yards on the field, misses holes, he looks lost and not interested at times, and you know, and I've been critical of Zeke for weeks on end. I feel like he wasn't pressing the hole hard enough. You know, he was kind of hesitant, different things of that ilk. I think at the end of the day, and somebody went back and talked about, I saw the comment earlier about Cook and Henry. Here's the thing: whenever you have your guys in front of you, though, and you know exactly what they're going to give you, you can be confident in where you want to run the ball. For anyone who's played this game, this is football 101 stuff. I understand it. But with Zeke, with everything, we have the most combinations of different starting offensive lines in the league. So as a running back, at times it's hard. How do you find a rhythm? How do you find a rhythm? It's hard. Well, we know still he might block somebody. He might not touch anybody. Is he in? I got to think about that. As we talk about the tape and Zeke leaving yards, or maybe he should have cut back or whatever. Let's talk about how many times on the same token Zeke, as soon as he gets the ball, has a guy or two on him. So, I mean, it's a give and take on both sides. Yes, there are times where I say Zeke has not pressed and done different things, but on the same token, whenever you don't know what you're going to get up in front of you, every time you get the ball, you don't understand, like, okay, I know for sure I can go off this butt cheek. I know which way he's blocking. I know what's happening. I know I can go here. And that's the benefit that a Cook and a Henry are getting as compared to a Zeke, because, okay, well, who's lining up this week? What's going on? Can I trust it? And once they finally kicked Zach Martin back out to right tackle, right? And you had Zach Martin and McGovern over there, magically you got Zeke's best game because he's like, okay, I know how that guy blocks. I know what's going to happen here. I can trust this. But the rest of this, I have no clue. And once you're down to once again to your, the guys that we're playing with at tackle and within the line of the shifts, those kind of things happen. I get it. Everyone's going to look at the check and thinks Zeke should be all world. I'm not saying that he shouldn't. The fumbling for me is a bigger issue of Zeke trying to do too much, but he can't do that. The fumbling problem for me is bigger than what's, happening or not happening once he gets the ball in his hands.
Yeah, it's just like the last fumble he had with the Redskins. You could see that he was trying to stretch it out for another yard, and he just could have went down. He just went down, and by him trying to stretch for another yard, they knocked the ball out of his hands. He's trying to do too much, but again, I can't say the word. You got to be familiar with the guys in front of you. Basically, what BJ was saying. And again, when you have when you have a game plan during the week, and then during the game when it starts, what happens? An injury happens. Boom. And but Mobby right here, what he just said, no continuity.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing with these injuries. They affect everybody. It affects everybody.
Yeah. I mean, over there on YouTube said, Jalen quit swiping. The ankle looks horrible when he's running. Yeah. I mean, once he got the interception, he looked a little weighted. But and we actually talked about this a little earlier, me, you, and Buddha, and I said, man, when you don't have a full offseason of conditioning and strength training the right way, some of these things kind of pile up on you, right? Because, you can flash back to 2 years whenever he scooped the fumble against the Giants and went and housed it. Bro, he looked like he was running like a 4.3 out there. But without the proper, in-house training and stuff, it's just what it is. So
let's not forget that Zeke also had COVID before the season started. So again, we're still learning about this stuff. We don't know how can it affect anything, your body or whatever. Same like Cam Newton had it, and what happened to him the last 2 games. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't playing well until last week. These are the things. It's a bad season. No full off season at all. Conditioning's been bad. Everything's been bad. I can't wait for next season. I just really can't wait for this off season. Full off season at that.
Hopefully we definitely do get those kind of things rolling, no doubt. Another thing is, look, and I'm not here to make a bunch of excuses for Zeke. I'm not. But whenever the prior administration was here, you knew somewhere in the second quarter, whoever the backup running back was going to come in for that one drive and then Zeke the rest of the time, basically.
Right.
And as compared to now, Zeke is kind of learning a different scenario of, well, I don't know when I'm in, when I'm not in, and different things have happened, so on and so forth. So
it's a whole new thing. It's a whole new it's a whole new process out there, and people gotta understand that it's not easy when you're missing key players. Every player counts for one another. Okay, a receiver gets 1,000 yards because the quarterback's throwing that football. The quarterback is able to throw the ball to the receiver because he got good blocking. Everybody counts for everybody. When you lose that one person next to you, it can affect the game. It really can.
Big facts. My guy Nelson in the building. Elias giving more effort to block Terry on that turnover. Jalen probably scores. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, and if Jalen was a tick faster, he probably scores as well. But I mean, either way, you got down inside the 10. Offense has got to punch that period. I mean, unfortunately, I looked at my daughter as soon as he got taken. I don't think we're going to score a touchdown. Scary. And of course we didn't. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, one thing I will say, talk about LV in general, as far as the defensive side of the ball, continues to see him getting better every week. Hang our hat on something, right? We don't talk about it, but I mean, from a player perspective, Connor Williams having his best year at left guard that he's had in the league. I mean, now we said the bar's been low for the first 2 years. That's fine, but he's having his best year so far. I mean, we found something. Again, I want to see more of this draft class just because, I'll be like CeeDee Lamb, okay, win, right? Okay, second round Diggs was definitely looks like he's going to be a win, right?
Win.
Sucks that he got hurt. It is what it is. Appreciate you, Greg. Go ahead. Now we got to Neville Gallimore finally got to play, looking like a solid starter. Win. All right, now Tyler Badaz, right, the fourth round pick. Win. Can I see the fifth? Can I see Bradley and Nay? Can I see Reggie Robinson?
I'm going to say win. Every time he caught in the game, you saw pressure. I don't know why to keep holding the man out, but you saw pressure when he was in the game.
Greg, we appreciate you as always, brother. Have a good one. Happy late Turkey Day as well. So I mean, let's pivot. All right, let's pivot. We're talking Turkey Day leftovers. We know the bar is set, right? We lost. Okay, we know where we're at as we're in last place, right? We know the leaders of the division, the G-men, the team from Washington. It's in there 4-7. The Eagles 3-7-1. Here we are 3-8. Right? Okay, we got 5 games left. We're not out of it. We're not in it, but we're not out of it. Another thing that I kind of noticed, Spoon, I was like, I was just kind of looking through our division and stuff like that. We're the only team to give up over 300 points in our division, by the way. And with that being said, we've given up 359.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Giants 253, Washington 243, Eagles 277. Us 359. Obviously a lot of that was much earlier, although obviously 41 this past week. But yeah, man, pretty tough. But so guys, we're not saying look, as I get to this, let me give the disclaimer. We're not saying we're tanking. We're not saying we're not going to win another game. We're just going to go with the what if part of the rest of this cast and see what y'all think, see what's going on, so on and so forth. Here's what we're going to do. I understand, Mark. Hey, the season's over. Look, I get it. All I'm saying is put the disclaimer, letting y'all know. We're just going to kind of get into fantasy land a little bit and start forecasting where this team is going to go and what things are going to look at and get y'all's responses. I'm going to talk about it for a little bit. Like I said, this is Turkey Day leftovers. Once you get a little bit of turkey in you, you watch the football, you get a little nap somewhere in there, you get you a little bit of drink on and whatnot. You get outside on the back porch with your people and you start just talking football a little bit. Put that thinking cap on and let's move forward. Let's go. Step 1. Does coaching staff stay in the same, Spoon, or we got some moving parts here?
No, you got moving parts.
You got some moving parts on the coaching staff. Okay.
Yeah.
We got some moving parts on the coaching staff. Fair enough. Guys, chime off we're going to the coaching first and foremost. We're going to talk about this coaching. All right, chime off who y'all think is going to be the moving parts, or are we keep it status quo for next season? All right, Spoon, who's your moving parts in this coaching staff?
Mike Nolan. Yeah, I understand we don't have the personnel, but I just think that there's better guys suited for the job, in my opinion, because they'll be out there. Or somebody on the team like George Edwards could take over. That's just it. We gotta stick to a scheme. Yes, defense has more of the veteran guys that we know that can win this game. And we still have issues with the game planning, stuff like that. I don't like the fact, as I said a couple of months ago, that he was asked to come down from the booth to be on the sideline with the defense. That should be a no-brainer when you didn't have a full offseason to go over the schemes and the things of that nature. We had a lot of internal discussions with players about the scheme, things of that nature. So when you have a lot of that piled into one, it's time to go.
Okay. I think it's going to be status quo. So I think it's going to be status quo. I don't think there's going to be any major moves on this coaching staff.
Okay.
I think they're going to look at it and say, "Hey guys, we got a year to evaluate. It was an odd year with COVID. We were competitive, and we're going to move forward with what we have." I think so.
I'm not mad at that happens.
I think so.
I'm not mad at that happens. Full offseason is needed. A full offseason is definitely needed.
For me, now if I'm in house, I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Why did I bring Mike McCarthy here? Why? Right? To get us, quote unquote, over the hump. I have to like things about his coaching style. West Coast offense. We're not running that. But we're not running the West Coast offense, right? No. Mike Nolan. Now, let me hear this from the comment section as well, right? Mike Nolan came in, wanted to be a multiple defense, and these players seemingly can't pick up this complex, defense. So, there's an issue there. So is that players or is that coaching? Does another offseason with this multiple get you to where you need to be? So there's a lot of things to be had there. For me personally, I would move on from Kellen. I would say, hey, install your West Coast offense. This is why we brought you to get this over the hump. The old offense wasn't working anyways. Boom, let's go. Right. But I think unequivocally, I think there's no big changes in the coach. I don't think they're going to make any big changes to this coaching.
And that's fine if there's not. At the end of the day, like I said,
agreed.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, BJ. At the end of the day, we didn't have a full all season. And again, we don't have players that should not. We have players right now on that team that should not be on that team at all. So a full all season, we could see better off next year, and definitely evaluate even better.
So, boom. All right. So, all right. You say Nolan. I say nobody. But if I had my choice, I'm moving on from Kellen Moore. So,
okay.
But that's where we're at, right?
Right.
So I'm not going to get to the biggest elephant in the room yet. Not yet. I'm going to get into. Let's talk about some of these players on defense. Who's staying? Who's going? Who's staying? Who's going? To me, I want Cheeto back. I want Cheeto back for a 1 or 2 year good deal. Need that body. Outside of that, Jordan Lewis, Xavier Woods, appreciate you on your future endeavors. Move on. And Mario, I'll disagree with you that Dakota Rain Prescott can run the West Coast offense, especially when you have a guy like Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb out of that slot, and Gallatin go over the top. Actually, I do think he can run the West Coast offense. He can make every throw that you need. I'll disagree with you there. So who you keeping? Who you letting go?
As far as players?
Yeah.
Number one, Xavier Woods.
Mm-hmm.
Go. Bye. See ya.
Not bringing him back? Fair enough.
Nope.
Next.
Who I'm letting go? It may not because he's playing. He's not playing bad, but no contract. Woods.
No, you already said Woods. Antoine Woods.
Yeah, Antoine Woods.
Not bringing Woods back. Okay.
Yeah, I would love to have him back, but for some reason, because his last year of his deal, the draft's coming up, he may be a guy that's on his way out. Jordan Lewis, I love Jordan Lewis, but he's not a slot corner. He's an outside corner.
Right. We're not going to play him on the outside. It is what it is.
Exactly. He's out.
Right.
Anthony Brown, I would, but I think they'll keep him because of insurance.
You got him on a good deal. He's here. He signed a 3-year deal this offseason. He's on a good. Yeah.
So I think he stays.
And maybe you see the Cheeto deal come with the idea that he's going to play safety, but we'll wait and see on that.
And here's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Cheeto, again, any player that knows that they may not be signed with the team, they still want to market themselves the right way for the offseason. So maybe Tito will take a smaller deal to have another shot to come back next year, play in a higher level. That way, if the Cowboys decide not to re-sign him, then he goes somewhere else, and they'll pay him a lot more money than next year. He hasn't been.
Definitely agree with my guy Brandon right here. Crawford's gone.
Yeah, free agent.
He's going to be gone. We're not going to bring him back. I also agree with my guy. Now, Mario, we disagreed. Mario, we will agree. I said after week 2, Smith has to be here. We need to keep Smith here. Aldon Smith needs to be here long term. I definitely agree with that.
I think it was Brandon or DeBose. Pardon me if I said the name wrong. Brandon had put up a comment about Nolan running a 3-4 defense with 4P personnel. Now, here's the kicker. Aldon Smith is a 3-4 guy. He's playing out of position with the 4-3. He hasn't put his hand in the dirt at all.
That part. Go ahead, Spoon.
So my thing is this: if Nolan comes back, what are they gonna commit more to? Aldon Smith style or D-Law style? That's the problem. I would love to bring Aldon Smith back in the right deal, but he's a 3-4 guy. So what are they gonna do?
Yeah, I think again, I'm keeping Aldon. I'm keeping Cheeto, and I'm going to disagree with you. I'm keeping Woods. I'm keeping Woods. No, the defensive tackle. Sorry. The safety's gone. Get the safety up out of here.
He's a free agent. I want to say, but I don't know if they're going to be signing him or not.
No, I mean, if you get him for the right deal, I mean, that's what it's going to boil down to. If you get him for the right deal, I'd like to keep him in house. So. I mean, those kind of hitters, it is what it is. Looney's Dill's going to be up. I don't think we're going to get Looney back personally. If he wants to stay on a decent deal, I'm here for Looney to come back. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We got to look at there was somebody else on the offensive side. Schultz got one more year on this deal, right? This is third year.
This is last year coming up.
So we're good there. Bell. I mean, he came on for a 1-year deal. I mean, he wants to stick around. I'm okay with Bill sticking around for the right. These are kind of midline guys that ain't going to cost us a lot of money. The crazy thing is, like, there was a lot of flipping around on this defense last year, and there's going to be some more coming this year. Hence why I said it right. And of course, DeBose said you said it right, Spoon. That's one of my biggest reasons. One of the biggest reasons why I do want to keep Cheeto in house. For the next year, I'd like to keep for a 2-year deal, low key. I think there's a lot to be had with him still. I think there's things that can be coached up and happen with him. But there's one position we haven't talked about yet. Like I said, I want to get through some of these other guys. Sean Lee, that's the other guy. Sean Lee, done out the door.
Yeah, he's out the door. Hopefully on the coaching staff.
Linebacker.
Again, I give him his props, man. Listen, at the end of the day, he makes something. He makes plays on the field.
Right.
No matter how old he is, broken up he is, he makes plays.
Lee moving on.
Okay. Moving on from Lee.
But of course, the big elephant in the room that I spoke of before, we talked about those guys. And now this is going to lead into everything else that we're going to talk about moving forward as we're talking about this offseason and what's going on. And we're going to kind of put a little bit of a stamp and say, hey guys, it is what it is on this season.
We get
that. All right.
Well, you getting that, BJ?
All right. Well,
it's not what I think it is, BJ. I know it's what I think it is.
I mean, we got to make a decision.
Man.
I think the old heads used to say you got to piss or get off the pot. You got to piss or get off the pot, right?
Oh boy.
So, are you signing Dak long term? Are you tagging him? What are we doing? I guarantee you. Look, here's what I'm going to say right now. I guarantee you there's going to be a tag in place. And then they'll try to figure it out. But are you keeping Dak or are you getting on? What are we doing with Dak? The quarterback position, right? All the fodder, so these defensive outlier guys that we want to keep and whatnot and who's going to move on. That's great. And that's going to add into this building. What are we doing at QB1?
Well, here's the thing. My answer is going to be as of right now, where we at, what we know. Right now, we're in a top 5 pick, right? There's no guarantee that we're going to get the number 1 overall pick. I do not like any other quarterback in the draft except for to replace Dak is Trevor Lawrence. But there's no guarantee we're going to get Lawrence. So right now, I'm going to say right now the idea is to keep Dak. Okay. That's the best thing to keep Dak. There's no, I'm not feeling even Justin Fields to replace Dak. Trevor Lawrence is the only guy I'm comfortable with to replace Dak if the Cowboys decide not to sign Dak. I'm just being honest. I don't want no threats on my inbox or nothing like that. Listen, BJ, me and Russ got something going for the draft. If God willing, we come out of the Stephen King dark cloud in. But end of the day, like I said, I love Dak Prescott. I understand he's a great quarterback, in my opinion, great leader. I mean, listen, it's not
top eight quarterback. Top 8.
Yes, it's without question. But in my opinion, folks are not researching enough the business side. It's the business side to every personal side. And the business side is going to be the decision making going down the road. But right now, my answer is Dak Prescott. We had number 5 overall pick. There's no guarantee to get Lawrence, so I'm sticking with Dak as of right now.
I agree. I think they should get the Dak deal done.
Right.
I don't think they'll get the Dak deal done. I think they're going to tag him and drag it out, unfortunately, because this front office, I don't believe a word they say. They've told us all along for years on end that Dak's their guy. They didn't get it done. And now magically the deal's going to get done as soon as free agency starts. No. So they're not going to let him enter free agency. So they're going to tag him. And we'll see what happens from there. I think, how about this? Mm-hmm. And here's where it gets, wonky. You with Dak holds all the cards. So you can't just tag Dak and just trade him wherever you want to, right?
No.
So it's not like, oh, well, I'm just going to tag him and trade him to the Jets and we'll take their number 1 pick. It's not going to happen. Like, unless Dak's like, okay, they're going to give me X amount of money and bump it, I'm out, And of course, and then too, I've seen a lot of different things thrown around what should happen. At the end of the day, if I'm trading Dak to the Jets, okay, Jets, you took your number 1 pick. Here's Dak. He's a proven commodity. I'm not giving you nothing else. I'm keeping my 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th pick, whatever. Oh, you're giving me your first. Here's Dak. We'll take Trevor Lawrence and we'll call it a day. But I don't think Dak wants to go play there. So then you got to look at whatever team it may be, right? Whether it's the Colts has been floated around or whatever the case may be, and you kind of look at those things and what you can or maybe be able to do. What's best for business, in my opinion, is to sign Dak.
Right.
I think that's what's best for business, and that's what should be happening. I don't think they're going to get the deal done before free agency, so I do expect him to get tagged, and then that's whenever. Look, it's no different than last year when I said once he gets tagged, all bets are off. And everybody said, "Oh no!" They said, "Nick, you're crazy. And don't worry. In my inbox, he's going to get signed." And I told every single person we were leading up to that. When we were leading up to the deadline, I said, "If Dak gets tagged, I said all bets are off. Don't trust anything." And he got tagged. And there's, "Oh, don't worry, the deal's going to get done." Man, if I could show you all my inboxes and everything and Twitter responses and whatnot about that, I'm like, I'm just telling you, man, you don't tag a guy that you believe in. It's just weird.
And here's the thing.
And of course, he ended up playing on the tag and getting hurt. So as we get to this free agency period, if they don't get the deal done before free agency launches, the Cowboys are going to tag him. And then here we are. And once he gets tagged again, all bets are off once again. Go ahead, Spoon.
And on top of that, another issue is that you want to see how he plays with that ankle injury. Because I guarantee you, Jacquez hit it right there. Y'all want to lose again next year? Here's the thing.
Don't disagree.
No, here's the issue right here. You want to see how he plays with the ankle injury. Let's just say, right? During the season, his ankle bothers him. every Cowboy fan is gonna say, "You see, this is why you should have waited or tagged him because his ankle now. Now we're stuck with it." This is why I always say, before we jump to conclusions, look at why and understand why. If not, last year getting tagged, he should never got tagged. But what he's going through right now with the ankle surgery, this is the right time to tag him. But the problem is, it's the second tag, and after the second tag, you're off to somewhere. You're leaving. You're not returning.
I don't think
that's the issue right there.
I don't think Dak will play on this tag though.
No, he's not going to play on the tag.
And that's going to open a whole different can.
No,
that opens up a whole different can of worms. Right. I don't think he's going to play on this tag. Which goes back to, if they don't get the deal done and free agency gets here and they tag him, it opens up a whole big ass can of worms of what's going to happen. You know, and maybe that's what the Cowboys front office is even hoping for. We're going to paint ourselves into a corner until Dak says enough is enough, and then we can play the victim role and say, but we wanted to sign him, we just couldn't get it done, so we just had to move on and do what we had to do, so on and so forth.
Yeah. I mean, listen, even when it was reported that Dak Prescott in the last minute went to resign the contract, we don't know the numbers, but whatever numbers he liked, I would like to know would those numbers be repeated again for next year. And that's just it. Once, like I said, if they really want that, they have the team doctors there. They know everything. They know, hey, listen, you could take a chance on Jalen Smith.
Right.
What he went through, and which everybody was way worse than what Dak is going through, then you could definitely take a chance on signing Dak. Again, like I said, for me, if it's not Dak Prescott, get me Trevor Lawrence. I can't. I'm not going to accept any other quarterback. And
I do believe this. I do believe if they're going to position themselves for another quarterback, I think the plan at that point would be that they're going to go all in and do what they have to do to go get Trevor Lawrence, right? And I think that's what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm going to buy. Maybe foolishly, I'm going to buy Steven and them at their word and say that they're going to get the Dak deal done. That's where I'm at. I'm gonna co-sign it. I'm gonna buy it so we can move forward. Dak is signed. We're going to sit at the 4th pick. If we lose out, we could get to the 3rd. I don't think we're going to lose out. We're going to sit at the 4th or the 5th pick. So we're sitting at the number 4 pick. Spoon, I don't want to draft at number 4. I want picks. What about you? Do you want to draft? Do you want to sit at 4 and draft, or are you looking for picks?
Oh no, I want picks. Listen, as I said before, if it's not 1, Trevor Lawrence, or number 2.
No, that's what I'm saying. Well, we're going to say we signed Dak, and we're sitting at 4.
Then, trade back. So you trade back. You trade back. Okay. Again, you signed Dak. Don't be afraid to say, oh, we signed Dak. We can sign. No, we need help in our defense. You trade back, get a lot of picks, and rebuild that defense. That's the ultimate game plan right there.
Okay, so can Justin Fields make it to number 4?
Yes, he can.
Okay,
he definitely can make it to number 4.
So, go ahead.
If it's number 4, that means the first 2. Of course, Lawrence goes number 1. Number 2, if it's who's it? The Jacksonville Jaguars,
right?
If they decide that Minshew's their guy, or their guy Luke, their backup quarterback, they can go offensive line, get Sewell. Number 3 will be the Bengals. Number 3, the Bengals can come out and say they already have their quarterback. Okay, Sewell is what they're taking, which is offensive line. They can draft Parsons, the linebacker, which is an option. So number 4 pick is the Cowboys right there. If Fields is available, somebody will take the 4th.
So let's say Fields is there.
Right.
Okay. So when you look at a quarterback needy team at that point, and who could we, maybe get some extra picks out of, right? I mean, the Saints might need a quarterback. Don't know if that's their guy. Don't know if that's their guy.
Saints. It could be the
you know,
Colts. It could be the Patriots.
Colts. Yeah,
You know, at
Patriots.
the end of the day, Justin Fields, he, in my opinion, is he there where Lawrence is at? No, but he's not. He's not so far behind. He's not that far behind. He has what to do, but he has a lot of potential, and he's not like Ohio State.
You got what you got. You got the Bears. You got maybe San Francisco, right?
If they go that route, Atlanta Falcons.
Right? Falcons, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at, can I get a first or second in next year's first and maybe stay in the top 10? That's what I will be looking at if Fields is on the board, right? That's what I'm looking at, right? If not, and let's say, all right, so somebody trades up to 2, right, and takes Fields, and then Sewell goes at 3, right? Then what are you looking at 4? Right? Are you still sticking? You're not going to get, look, the quarterback's not there no more, so you can't really get the same bevy of picks per se. But maybe, you know, hey, there's the Patrick Surtains of the world, right?
Right.
You have to. Parsons doesn't hurt you, right? Because it's a linebacker. Parsons a little too high. Like, here's the problem. I don't want to be 4. I think 4 puts us in limbo. I don't like 4. I don't think we're going to get to 3. The only way to get to 3 is we have to lose the rest of the games, and I don't think we're going to lose the rest of the games. So I think 4 puts us at limbo to a certain extent.
Again, the game against the Bengals, which is after the Baltimore Ravens game, that's gonna decide. I always say this, all right. Depending what happens between Baltimore next week, then the Bengals, that's gonna decide the season right there. If they lose the next 2, they're gonna stay within the top 3. That's it. It's a wrap. It's done. Finito. They're already 1 game behind the division. I don't see them. If they lose the next 2 games, it's a wrap. They're gonna tank the last. They're gonna really just lose the last 2, because that they will be in the top 3 pick right there. And that top 3 pick definitely gets you a lot of things right there. Whether it's one of the better players available, because here's the thing. Let's just say we're in the top 3, we're number 3. Let's just say we decide to trade for Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to put the Jets at number 4 or 5. Guess what? We know Jacksonville is not going to take Fields. Right? The only thing they just got to do is hope that nobody goes in front of them at number 2 to go ahead and get them. Or what can happen is, it's the thing that happened in 2004 with the Giants and the Chargers. The Jets draft Lawrence. We draft Fields at 3. We swap. That can happen too. Or let's just say it is. Jets take Lawrence. Number 2, Jacksonville takes Justin Fields. We got Sewell, future All-Pro left tackle.
Yeah, I mean,
so that 3rd spot, depending on what the Cowboys decide to do with the whole team next year, that number 3 spot gives us the world, whatever we want to do. The number 4th is called. You're right about that.
Yeah, the number 4 is a tricky situation. I don't like 4. Yeah. You know, I definitely like 3. You know, again, it's crazy because obviously we get into the offseason, these mock drafts happen and stuff like that. But until we really solve this quarterback position, right? Kind of crazy. Here we are talking about in 2021, we still have to solve, the quarterback position. I mean, that's going to really dictate everything we do. In a perfect world for me, I'm gonna take the guy from Oregon, Sewell. I'm taking the guy, and then I'm drafting another defense the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. In any way, shape, or form that I can get multiple picks, I'm about it. I think. And that's where we are, right? And we're going to leave it at that. Like okay, so we're saying that this, that, or third. I'm going to Plan B now. I'm going to Plan B.
Plan B. We don't sign Dak.
I'm going to Plan B. I'm going to Plan B.
So hold on, let me get ready. Hold on, I gotta get ready.
All right, get ready. Get ready.
I gotta get ready. Hold on.
All right, get ready. Get ready, Spoon. Get ready for Plan B. We talked about Dak and bringing it in, how we right this ship and everything else. Okay, we're going to go to Plan B, ladies and gentlemen. And some people ain't gonna like Plan B, and that's okay. The one thing that I say when it comes to Plan B is, when you have a gunshot wound, a Band-Aid doesn't heal a gun, a bullet hole. And sometimes you just have to rip a Band-Aid off and understand it'll be okay. This is the way for all of my Mandalorian fans out there. You got a new coach. You got a new staff. Take this team, get them over the hump, whatever. We can talk about injuries, the whole nine, and different things that have happened. And at the end of the day, man, you gotta just throw out the old nasty word. Starts with an R. And just maybe, it is absolutely unequivocally time to say we got to rebuild this thing, man. It is what it is. I mean, the 9.5, whatever, 10 years of Garrett, the 1 year with McCarthy, keeping on Kellen Moore, stringing this thing along, injuries be damned, whatever the case may be, right? Maybe you just got to rip the Band-Aid off and say, man, we got to take this thing back down to ground zero and build it all the way back up, And Jaquez, that's what I told Buddha earlier. He's got to overcome. It ain't just Bama, it's Saban. Just kind of like the old ball coach down there in Florida. Then went over to South Carolina. I forgot his daggum name. Those coaches from those programs just haven't done well in the NFL. So, there's those things, But I mean, hey, it used to be the same thing for Oklahoma, and then look what they've done. But with that being said,
yes, man, Plan B.
We're at Plan B. That's getting sound. I'm not worried about that, and I hope you're right, Jaquez. I really do. But if it's Plan B,
yep, Plan B.
If it's Plan B, Steve Spurrier, thank you.
My head's
the old ball coach. It's fine. It's fine. But if it's Plan B and it's sunshine, then everything's off the table. Like all these different players that we have signed, different things that we have, and so on and so forth. If the Cowboys are going to make this play, the only way, I mean, it's a long shot. I mean, he's got to literally, he's got to say, he has to pull the Eli and say, hey, I'm not going to play for the Jets. I'm not going to play for the Jets. It's the only way that this thing remotely gets to happen. And then at that point, with him not playing for the Jets, he pulled the Eli Manning. Trevor Lawrence says, no, sir, I'm not playing for you. The Cowboys then at that point can make something happen and go up and get him. But if you do, Cowboys Nation, go up to go get Trevor Lawrence. That's the hot button thing to talk about and what they should do and everything else. Here's what should happen. Man, you clear the decks. Man, you clear the decks is what you got to do. You got to clear the decks, and you are for sure in rebuild mode. So any and every high-priced guy on this roster at a certain point is available. Yes, you have CeeDee Lamb. Yes, you have Michael Gallup, right? Yes, you have Tyler Badaz over here. Yes, LVE's in that realm. Yes, you got Diggs over here. But these other guys that have been here for a while, that are a part of the Garrett administration, I'm talking about the Zekes because you're moving on from Dak because you're doing Trevor Lawrence. We were talking about the Amaris that was brought here for Dak, so on and so forth. D-Law, appreciate your brother and everything that you do. You know, those guys, even Jalen Smith to a certain extent, man, you got to move on and you got to rebuild this thing and you got to get it cracking. And you know, Plan B is full rebuild. It's either – and low-key, we are rebuilding this defense already. And this offensive line is not the same anymore. We knew that. We talked, look, before the season started, we're like, oh, yeah, Tyron Smith's going to miss 3 games. We already know. He's missed a hell of a lot more than that. The beard, Travis Frederick, is gone. Zach Martin, how many years does he have left? And he, you know, for the first time ever, he's going to miss snaps because he's hurt. Like, y'all can call it not a rebuild, but we're there. The only thing that hasn't happened is the quarterback. So if they go this route, it's as smooth as all the way went in with his Trevor Lawrence get up.
At the heads, good. You know,
sunshine. Smooth, I'm gonna let you take over. I'll be right back. I'll let you take over. Go ahead, Smooth.
I mean, listen. It's pretty obvious now. Pretty obvious. They had his head on the lawn. There's a ball horse in Harlem somewhere. But here's the thing, y'all. Plan B. This is business. We have seen players come and go. We've seen head scratching moves and things of that nature. This is something that can actually happen. If the Cowboys decide not to pay Dak, well, we know we're not going to have, and we know we don't want Andy Dalton as a starting quarterback. We damn sure don't want Ben DiNucci. We don't want Garrett. We're going to want somebody fresh, a good rookie quarterback. I say go for the best one. That's just it. If we can't keep Dak Prescott, who's a top 5 quarterback, top 7, top 10, whatever you want to rank him, in my opinion, I got him top 5 in my opinion. But if you don't want to keep him, then go for the best thing that's out there. Trevor Lawrence, the highest rated quarterback since John Elway and Andrew Luck. That's all I'm saying. Now, again, this part of the show is not choosing Lawrence over Dak. Just make that clear. We're not choosing Lawrence over Dak. We're basically trying to explain if the Cowboys decide not to re-sign Dak, which direction they're going to go. I say go to number 1 and get Trevor Lawrence. Now, here's the thing. I'm a Trevor Lawrence fan. Folks don't know about Trevor Lawrence. This man has been the thing, the ish, since high school. The NFL has been licking their fingers ready for this man to come in the game. So, as a Cowboy fan, I want the best. I want the best. If we're going to let Dak walk and save that $40 million, go out there and get you the best young quarterback in the draft, and that is Trevor Lawrence. That's why I want the top 3 spot. Why? Because I want us to have options. Now, I know I don't look as good as Trevor Lawrence with the blonde hair. I am a better looking man without the hair than him. But at the end of the day, you want number 16 on your team if we decide to let Dak walk. I'm just being honest. I like Justin Fields, but nah. I think Trevor Lawrence. Here's the thing. I think Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion, will catch up to the Mahomes height that fast with Dallas. In my opinion, he's that much of a good quarterback. I'm just saying. No, I'm not saying we're gonna get him. I'm not saying we're gonna get him. I'm just saying if we move on from Dak, that's the route I want to go. Now, in the side panel, if we move on from Dak, what quarterback? What you want to do at quarterback? Whether it's draft one or trade for one. Be realistic. Realistic. Romo's not coming out of retirement. We're not ready for Pat Mahomes. Be realistic. If we decide to move on from Dak, where we gonna go? Hey, Rush, we go to NFL draft. I got you, brother. I got you. When they say we all in the clear, I got you.
Yeah,
understand.
Look, and for you to tune it in late here, we're just, this episode's been called the Cowboys Turkey Day leftovers. We reheated the game. We've reheated the situation with the team and where we're moving on the rest of this year. We're sitting at the number 4 pick. We reheated the fact that we're still in it. We reheated the fact that what's going to happen on this coaching staff. I think it's not going to change. I think everybody's going to stay. Spoon thinks maybe that defensive coordinator gets out of here. If I had to pick to get up out of here, me personally, I would get rid of the offensive coordinator and Kellen Moore, right? Cool. So we reheated the Dak debate because I think he's going to get tagged again. I don't think they're going to get the deal done before free agency, which leads us back to a tag. But we all agreed that Dak should be signed. And then we worry about and we talked about what we should do with that 4th pick. Maybe we get to the 3rd, different things, trade back scenarios. But then we reheated Plan B. Well, I guess we didn't really reheat that, Spoon. We didn't reheat Plan B. We brought Plan B to the people. If you're not going to re-sign Dak, then there should be only one option for the Cowboys to go do. And they would to go get Trevor Lawrence. Again, the mental hurdles for it to happen, obviously Trevor has to pull the Eli and say, I'm not playing for the Jets. I'm not. And then at that point, it opens the door. right? And that's what it kind of boils down to. Now, the next question is, as you just brought up, because let's go ahead and walk down the path that Dak's not here. Then what is the solution? Because the Trevor Lawrence thing is great. I love to get up. Sunshine. He's going to sell a shit ton of jerseys here. We've never, we'll have a 16 in the building. Yeah. Oh, the hair looks good. Looks good on you, brother. Yeah. What is the answer for the Cowboys if they don't bring back Dak? Are you going to sit in 4 and hope somebody falls to you? Are you going up? I mean, what exactly will be the answer at that point? On a scale of 1 to 10, and let's go back to this. On a scale of 1 to, I don't want to do 10. How about 1 to 5? On a scale of 1 to 5. 1 not likely, 5 slam dunk. Dak going to be long-term, not franchise tagged. He's going to have a long-term deal and be the Cowboys quarterback the next 3 years. Is Dak Prescott, on a scale of 1 to 5, the deal gets done, he's going to be the Cowboys quarterback for the next 3 years? Let me know in the comments section. Spoon, is Dak, do you think, tag or non-tag, like even they tag it, they're going to get the deal done, Dak's going to get a long-term deal here? Yes or no?
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say 2. No, I'm going with 2, number 2. You know, BJ, I remember back in February when you came out and said when they started the tag. And I remember you came out and you told me, you said, Spoon, if we time Dak, it's going to be hard for me to feel that he'll be here as a future Cowboy. And you was right. You came out and said nobody tags their franchise quarterback. And again, Peyton Manning's been tagged, Michael Vick's been tagged, but they was tagged together at the same time because they both were free agents. So it was pretty much who's going to give up what, who's going to take the lesser money out of the two. That's what it is. When it comes down to Dak Prescott, I was making an excuse saying, well, his agent's probably waiting for Pat Mahomes to sign. Pat Mahomes got to be signed. What was the issue? Deshaun Watson got signed. There hasn't been no franchise quarterback who's been tagged at all. And we all know that when new coaches come in, they want their own guy. We can go. Yeah. We can go back to teams like the Eagles with Chip Kelly. They had Nick Foles, had a good team. Deshaun Watson. I mean, not Deshaun Watson. Excuse me. They had Deshaun Jackson. They had Macklin. They had McCoy. Chip Kelly went in there, and he blew everything up. And he didn't really have to, but he did. Mm-hmm. That's what makes and them tag and then waiting for the last minute to re-sign Dak. Now I know folks will come out and say, well, they would have signed. They signed Tony Romo. Here's the difference: Tony Romo was an undrafted free agent. You can't tag undrafted players. You just can't. So they had no leverage. The Cowboys had leverage with Dak. Either you sign you sign what we offering you, or we're gonna tag you. And tagging makes a player feel uncomfortable. You don't make your franchise quarterback feel uncomfortable. What happened? It led to this injury. Now, thank God, it's not a career-ending injury. It could have if more stuff would have happened. The way his leg got bent, but thankfully it's not.
Yeah.
Now the excuse going to be, well, we don't know he's 100%. Mm-hmm. That's going to be the leverage part.
There's some angles.
Right. So, in my opinion, again, like I said before.
Jacquez, and that sounds good. He also told the Joneses that he watched every single NFL play from the previous year. And then on the press conference when he was up there, was like, well, you say what you got to say to get the job. And they got to zoom in on Stephen Jones like, oh, shit. So look, he's a liar just like the Joneses are to me.
Here's the thing.
But go ahead, Desmond.
Here's the thing, BJ. But just like bring up that comment we had, you're not gonna sleep over the owner's house just to talk about the team. Any team, anything that has a major change at quarterback, it's a long conversation.
Yeah.
Long conversation. And guess what? The conversation ended up with Dak not being re-signed. Now, has McCarthy ever said? See, here's the thing about the Jones and even past moves. They lie. They had, if we could roll back tape of them saying one thing week 1 and then week 17 something else, they contradict each other. They flip flop. We haven't heard McCarthy come out and say Dak's my quarterback. We haven't heard him say Dak will be.
Yeah, I mean, he said that.
He never
I mean, before the preseason, once he got on him, before we got to the season and everything, he said that, right? Yeah, I mean, he said that. It is what it is. It's a conundrum. I mean, look, and it's a conundrum. At the end of the day, it is a conundrum because, again, the thing that'll always be puzzling to me, period, point blank, and I'm talking. Look, I'm gonna keep beating this dead horse. If you're a first time listener here, great that you're going to get this knowledge. If you've listened for a long time, I'm sorry. Your guy Nick is just going to keep saying this. You do not franchise your freaking quarterback if you believe in him. And I'm like, you go look at Cousins. Like, well, what did they tell me? Well, wait. Well, Breeze and Vic got tagged, right? Was it Peyton and Vic or whatever? They got tagged because they didn't know who was going to set the damn market. It's completely different. The market was set. You could have got the deal done. Nobody sits with a quarterback that they believe in and bicker about a fucking year. Excuse my language. You don't bicker about a year with your franchise quarterback. We want you 5 years. I don't want to sign 5 years. Well, damn it. Let me sign you. Here it is, 4 years. Bump it. Let me give it to you what you want. It's your world. But you had to play on the tag again and bet himself for a second year in a row. And then you saw his foot go this way. Again, if they don't get the deal done before free agency, smart business move by the Cowboys, they'll tag him.
Right.
And just like I said last year, once the tag was in place and you couldn't extend him, I said all bets are off. And they tag him again, all bets are off again. It just is what it is. It's how the business works. Why? At this point, because once he got hurt, right, the Joneses came out again. Dak's our guy, long term. They've been on that campaign trail since he got hurt, right? You had the screenshot of the sister was crying to Steven. Oh my God, this is crazy. Then pay him. Don't you do it. Hey, look, you get to free agency and Dak's deal is not done. Y'all got to tag him again? Man, please. Look, I cheer for this star and I put on some clown gear sometimes about behind it. Man, I'm just keeping it a buck here. Y'all tag him again. How's he going to stay?
The only way I see him staying, he takes a big pay cut. And I'm talking about, I know the $40 million range is where they need to go in. But if he comes out and with the 35 or 34 mil and stuff like that.
Your new Super Bowl prior winning head coach comes in. You hire him because he's a guy that's won a Super Bowl, tells you that you believe in Dak Prescott. So your new coach and the quarterback you love so much that you tell us, and both of these guys, and it doesn't get paid. I'm not trying to hear that Mike doesn't do contracts. I'm not trying to hear that because if it was Garrett here, you could sell me on that. But the fact that you brought Mike McCarthy, you had the powwow, right? You had the blue label going at the house. You had to sleep over the whole nine. He told you that he watched every single thing from Dak from college to the NFL, and he's my guy, right. And I'm the new coach, and I'm signing on the dotted line. Before I sign that damn dotted line, guess what I'm saying? So y'all sign the Dak, right? Like tomorrow, because I don't want to sign this line. That's a problem. Yeah, y'all sign the Dak. Bet, then I'm signing. Don't give me that. Mike's not signing that deal if he said all that. And the Joneses said they're going to pay him. Like, miss me with that. It ain't about Mike doing front office deals. It's about he told them, that's my guy. I'm coming on because I want Dak. So if the only way I'm going to sign in Dallas is I want the quarterback, then the ownership would have got the damn deal done.
It's the same thing when Chip Kelly came out from Oregon and he interviewed with the Eagles. And what happened was, the coach says, well, but he wanted some GM power to make his own moves. He says that the Eagles declined it. So he went on 2 more interviews. All of a sudden, Lurie calls calls him again. Listen, come right back. I'm gonna give you the power. So what did he do? They moved Howie Roseman into another position and gave Chip Kelly all that power. And look what happened. End of the day, you gotta use a bargain tool to bring the guy you want in, right? And it's either two things. It's either McCarthy says I will sign if Dak is gonna be the future quarterback, or B, I want to be here, but I want another quarterback. At the end of the day, did Dak get signed? No. When they asked McCarthy about it, he came out and said, "Well, I'll leave that question to the one who handles the business on the side." That's it. And if they ever ask McCarthy about Dak Prescott, oh, he's a good quarterback. He never comes out and say he's the future of this team. Perfect example: Andy Reid. After the Cowboys beat the Dallas Cowboys beat the Eagles in the playoff, McNabb's last year. After the game, will McNabb be here? Andy Reid goes, yes. On Easter Sunday, what happened? He was traded to the Washington the Redskins at the time. Mm-hmm. This is what happens. So again, BJ, going back to it, that question you asked last year, or the statement you said, I would love to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
In that sleepover,
they talked about Dak Prescott
with Jerry Jones,
look, and it'll get answered. And look, and unequivocally, this offseason, it'll get answered. I'll either know. I will look. Whatever happens this offseason, I will absolutely unequivocally know what they talked about when it pertained to Dak Prescott before Mike McCarthy signed. If Dak's here long term, then Mike McCarthy wanted him. If he's out, if they move on, then it was not about him coming on for Dak Prescott. It just is what it is.
Hey,
and look, and let me ask you something else. Spoon.
Right.
Have you ever seen Jerry Jones and Steven this lackadaisical with all these L's? Ever?
No. They commented cool and collect. This is what I'm saying. They are cool. They are relaxed. They are calm. First of all, we haven't heard Steven talk in a minute. It's been Jerry the whole time. The last most recent interview, you barely hear Steven. It's mostly Jerry. They working on next year. Listen, it's like I said before. It's no guarantee.
And he shouldn't take a pay cut. Dak
he shouldn't.
Should not take a pay cut.
He should not take a pay cut. But what I'm saying, my statements are not saying what needs to happen. My statements are predicting what's going to happen. That's all it is. He should take a pay cut. $40 million, he should get paid $40 million. He definitely deserves it. That's a great guy, great leader on and off the field. The players play for him. But again, like I said, I think they're gonna blow up this team.
Well, the only way that I'm buying the blowing up of this team, because I want Dak Prescott here long term. The only way that I'm buying them blowing up this team is back to what you had on a little earlier in that gear. If you're moving on from Dak Prescott, then Jerry, Steven, y'all gotta go do what you gotta do to go get me Trevor Lawrence, and that's the only way that I'm gonna feel like kind of okay about it. Again, I think Dak was a fan of this team. I think Dak represents this team the right way. I think Dak is an amazing leader. I think Dak does things just as good on the field as he does off the field. It's amazing to me because I see Cowboys fans, and I think half of them are just ex-Romo guys that want to hate on that because, he kind of supplanted him, whatever. Mm-hmm. Being a lightened Cowboy fan, love what Romo did and sit here and appreciate what Dak is as well. It's so great. Look, man, I love Danny White. He didn't get us to a Super Bowl. I love what Danny White did. Man, I hate that he fumbled that shit down there in San Francisco. They always talk about the catch. They don't ever talk about the fact that Danny White fumbled that ball. We could have still won that game. We needed a field goal. We was almost in range. But either way, I love the quarterback for the star right now. It is what it is. But I understand business. If they're going to move on and it is what it is, well, don't sell me wolf tickets. Don't come through this thing and bring me some lackluster guy. Go do what you got to do. Go be. Look, we have not drafted. Look, when's the last time we drafted a quarterback in the first round, Spawn?
1989.
He kind of had. He didn't have long blonde. He had that mullet.
Blonde hair.
Right? Sure. He had that mullet. We had the little mullet up to the and look, and the Joneses love to sell us on nostalgia, right? Sell us on that nostalgia.
1989 to 21. Ooh, damn, BJ, 89 to 21. That's That's a
even
number.
Do the math. Yeah, do the math.
The number right there.
And that's what you got to do. And look, and I'm not mad at it. Like a lot of people say, well, I want to trade the house and do this and do that. I'm like, bruh, you do what you got to do. The only position that I tell every single franchise in general, and I believe this, I do NFL casts, I've done different things over the years. There's only one position that you sell out for, period, point blank, and that's the QB position. If you believe in that QB and that's your guy, you do what you got to do to go get that guy. Period. Yeah, can you look up into a Dak in the 4th round? Sure. Can you look up into a Romo, free agency? Sure. Can you be the Patriots and look up to the 6th round?
Can
right?
You look up,
can you be? Well, and that was even look, and they had to trade up for Pat Mahomes. Even they still had to trade up one. But look, hey, better yet, right? Can you be the Seattle Seahawks and look into the 3rd round to a Russell Wilson? Right? Can you be the Packers to sit there and wait for Aaron Rodgers to fall? I mean, sure, you can get lucky in this thing.
Yeah, lucky.
You can. I mean, you can also take Jared Goff and Carson Wentz 1 and 2. That's the thing about this. So if you're moving on from a top commodity, a commodity that is the quarterback position, which we know literally the NFL has less than 50% of adequate quarterbacks. And I'm safe with saying that. Outside of 15 to 1, right? That leaves 17 on the back end. Those 17, man, you got 15 competent quarterbacks in this league. If you have a guy, you have to go get him. Look, you're literally saying, Joneses, McCarthy, we are willing to move up a top 8 guy. I don't care how anybody wants to slice and dice this damn thing. At worst, Dak Prescott is 8th in this league.
Yeah.
8th.
Yeah. At worst.
I could sell you on 6. I don't know about 5, but I know I can get you to 6 if you want to listen to me. But 8, right. I'll give you 8. Right. And you want to move off of him because you don't want to pay him the cost with the salary cap probably regressing this year instead of growing exponentially because of COVID. We have to wait for 2 years for that growth to kick in. Then if you're going to do that with the franchise that we are, I ain't talking about 25 years of mediocrity. Look, we can talk about the ups and downs, the in-betweens. We're still the damn Dallas Cowboys. Hey, the number 1 watched game this year in the NFL, Turkey Day, Cowboys. We keep – what Spoon, you say it best. The Cowboys keep the lights on.
Yeah.
We keep the lights on. Look, Stephen A. Smith got a $12 million deal over there at ESPN because he talks about the Cowboys. Skip Bayless got this $10+ million deal over there because he talks to Cowboys. We keep people employed. It is what it is. So at the end of the day, if you're going to move off a top 8, 26-year-old quarterback, you got to bring me the best.
Here's another thing, and guys, again, what's coming on? Me and BJ is not saying to you is that we just basically explaining option B if they decide not to go with that. It's another case right here. Just paint the picture. Imagine the Cowboys drafting Trevor Lawrence. Think about it. Now we all know that. When college football is on right now, and the highlights of Trevor Lawrence come on, you hear the comment, "Oh my God, this guy's going to be exciting to watch in the NFL." X, Y, and Z. Imagine him with a star on his helmet. Now we ready to get the publicity, just being the team who we are, even with Andy Dalton as the backup. Right? We're still leading in TV rating. Imagine Trevor Lawrence in a Cowboy uniform. His hype on this team.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's big. So this is big.
But I don't care about the hype. I just want to be a competent perennial playoff team. You're selling me on the coach. Fair, right? This year, injuries, COVID, whatever the case may be, y'all decided to leave this quarterback position in flux, if you will. Right. So let's figure it out. Again, I am team pay Dak, and we figured the rest out. I am. But if they are going to move on from Dak Prescott, then they damn sure better have a damn great plan to go forward. And we are so shell-shocked, Spoon, right? I mean, here we are, man. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. Man, this is the Turkey Day Leftovers. Usually we have a very structured show. Mary Ell is with us. We talk about, the previous game. We talk about the injury, blah, blah. Man, we're just having a good time, man. We're just talking football. Man, grab you a beer, grab you a smoke. Man, shout out to my people. Man, hey, man, YouTube showed up tonight, man. We was almost at 10. Man, we're doing that, man. Stargate Podcast YouTube. Hit that sub button. Man, give a like and share here. Man, we're just having a good time. Man, we're 3-9. We're at the bottom of the NFC least. Man, we're just talking about – oh, I'm sorry. 3-8. Sorry, don't want to get ahead of ourselves. 3-8. We got 5 games left. And we're just talking about, hey, the future cast and having a good time, with your people, on Turkey Day on the back porch, having a drink or two, maybe a little smoke, and just, hey, what's going on with Cowboys Nation and having a good time. So, man, chime in. We'll get them up here. We'll get your comments up here. We'll keep talking for a little bit. As long as y'all want to go, man, me and my guy Spoon, we in this thing talking about it. It's just frustrating, Spoon, right? As a longtime Cowboys fan, and we kind of feel like, look, and I definitely believe that Dak Prescott. Let me pivot and ask the people this. Let me get your comments on this. Let's throw this up here. Do we believe, Spoon? Let's do this first. Do we believe that Dak Prescott is capable of taking this team to a Super Bowl?
Of course.
Okay, of course. I want to see some comments there because I think the same. I think he has the intangibles. I think he's a leader. I think he can make all the throws. I think he's progressed the right way. I think he can take a team to a Super Bowl, right?
Right.
And here we are with the front office that has tagged him, injured. We're in flux, new coaching staff. Maybe we're not going to pay him. We got to wait and see. They've said a whole lot since he got hurt that we're going to. But we're still in flux and waiting to see once we get to March, into April, what's going to happen. I just, as I think about it, like at no point in time, and I go back to like Kirk Cousins over there. I never thought, I was like, Kirk Cousins is a cool quarterback. I never thought of Kirk Cousins as a Super Bowl quarterback. Right? So I kind of understood the tag. I look at that and what he brings to the table and whatnot. And I'm just like, what is the disconnect? What is the issue? What is the problem? And back to, obviously, we saw Jaquez, we saw Buddha going back and forth over the Dak thing and not, and this, that, and the third, man, and Rush. I mean, it's very frustrating. The last 25 years has been frustrating. No, agreed. Yeah. And the point I'm getting to is, man, we are so shell-shocked as a fan collective, right? Right. Let me break this down to you, Spoon, and see what you think. I talked about this earlier in the year, right? You got the PTSD, right? Yeah. Post-traumatic stress disease, right? PTSD, yeah. Right? Yeah. All right. And I call it the post-traumatic Garrett disease. We were suffering from PTGD, right? Yeah. But on the same token, that 25 years that you see on the bottom, man, we suffer from that. Man, we are so battered by the Joneses again. And Mary will be one that will co-sign it. Like, well, yeah, you can go do the rookie shit and all that. Cool. But what tells you that they're going to spend money on the rookie deal? Because Romo was on the cheap deal. Dak was on the cheap deal. They didn't do anything with it. So what tells you getting a rookie quarterback that thinks we are so stuck in purgatory that even if we say, okay, the Cowboys said they don't want to pay Dak for whatever reason, although they should, and you go get, let's say it's not even Trevor. Bump it. They just go get a guy. They go get Buddha's guy, or they go get Fields, right? And look, and McCarthy sounds off. Right. They go get him a quarterback at 4. They're going to get their guy at 4 and not pay Dak. Okay. And we're going to build this thing now. We're going to tear it down and do this. We are so torn as a nation of fans. We don't believe in it. We'd rather hold on to 8-8, 9-7, unless we get unless we get an injury, because we know as soon as we get an injury, we won't be 8-8, 9-7, 10-6. We'll be 4-12, 5-11. But we're so torn of just, can we just hold on and be? We are that torn after 25 years, man. It's pretty insane to me.
BJ, I got an antidote for that. I got a cure for that. I'm gonna use clothing. You have a pair of jeans, a favorite pair of jeans, a favorite pair of pants, right? A certain brand you love, you wear it all the time when you want to go out. The jeans end up getting a hole in it. You take it to the cleaning to get it patched up. You got another hole. That's the beginning. But every time you get it patched up on your conscience, you know those patches are covering up holes.
Just not as fly.
Yeah, I just hope that a lot of people don't look at my pants as this, damn, that's nasty, or it's just not right. So it's the same thing with the Cowboys. We want to hold on to the 8-8 and the 9-7, right? Same thing. Consciously, every offseason. I don't know what they're saying because last year was 8-8 with the same team. I don't know. Here's how you do this. Instead of you keep patching up a new hole on the same old pair of pants, you buy yourself a brand new pair.
Right.
When you buy a brand new pair, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna feel good about the new pair of pants. You're not gonna be thinking subconscious, oh, the holes there. No, because there's no holes. You got a brand new pair. You're gonna know I'm looking fly. With the other clothing I'm wearing with the new pair of pants. Same thing with the Cowboys. You get a whole new team, you're gonna feel good a little bit. You know why? It's brand new. You're gonna understand. Okay, we got a brand new team. This year is about seeing what we got. Then after the season's is over, I'll see how close we are. It's still gonna make you feel good when you keep on holding on to the same shit and keep kind of repair it. You're wasting time. When you just get a whole new pair, whole new guys, and guess what? It may work out differently. It may work out differently.
It may.
It'll make you feel a little bit more better because why? You're not going through the same thing that we go on from every time, every single year. That's what it is. And see, here's another thing. What Russ Turner just said: dollar shopping. It's another thing. Again, I'm staying on with the subject of if we move on from Dak.
Right.
When you pay Dak that money, if you think Stephen Jones was bargain shopping then, you're gonna have to do a lot more bargain shopping unless you let go of other players. If you let go of other star players, that may not be good for Dak. You got to figure it out. You got to really, really figure this whole thing out. This is why.
I mean, I'll tell you what. Here's where I'm at. Look, and we're obviously, we will continuously, cover the Cowboys, talk about these topics, back and forth where we're going, different things like that. I think for me, and I have definitely fought this narrative for a very long time, Spoon. I've fought it, and I'm like, no, we can do it this way. We can do it this way, Look, I'm not going to bring this up a whole lot for those that have tuned in tonight. This is a special moment for your guy Knicks that I want to say this. The definition of insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. 25 years is a pretty good sample size. And look, and let me give context within that 25 years, because Jerry paid a lot of the guys that had won Super Bowls a little too much with the salary cap, so you had to get away from stuff, right? Yeah. The first time where we really had good salary cap flexibility was probably around 03, 04. Okay. Right. To be honest. So, I know a lot of people talk about the 25 years, but for me, it's more of a 16-year window because I understand the business side of things. And then I look at those coaches. I look at the Parcells that got us there, but never over the hump. Right. And then I look at the Wade Phillips and, got us to 13-3, but we lost we lost to the Giants when I won the Super Bowl, only to see Garrett take over and the ups and downs throughout the Garrett situation, on to now Mike McCarthy and what's happening here. And man, I just until. And look, and maybe when Jerry goes, maybe Steven has a change of heart. I don't think so. I think Steven will be the GM for the foreseeable future once Jerry passes on. But I mean, I look at him like, okay, well, we could look at other teams, whether it's the Jets or the Browns or the Bills, who have GMs and what they haven't done, right? The Bills haven't won a playoff game since what, 95? The Browns haven't won a playoff game since '02 or something along those lines. You look at the Jets and their history, and then I say full stop, because that's where the Cowboys are, is with those teams now. I know they have a GM, and they've had GMs over the years, and we've been going through the same thing. And I like to subscribe to every a blind squirrel finds a nut time to time. But I think until we really change the front office structure, I don't know what we talk about or what decisions are made if this thing ever really turns around. And we have a guy that's been interviewed a couple of different times for GM positions. Houston, Indianapolis definitely have, and as we use the hashtag on Stargame group, in Willie we trust, or in McClay we trust, Willie McClay. And I know they've given him different bags and different titles with each bag. I'm like, just make him GM. And I've heard, and I've went back and forth with people, and they didn't want to challenge. Well, has he really been that good? Blah, blah. I said, look, he can only get the talent to the table. I said, the coaches have to develop that talent and put them in position to play and win. And I think the talent that he has brought in time and time again has been viable talent. Whenever he wanted a TJ Watt, they went opposite, right? The position coaches got it, and different things of that ilk. But I just wonder, look, and I'm on a campaign and want to see us do the best. I just do really wonder, Spoon, at the end of the day, until we truly have a solidified GM that's not the last name of Jones, will we be able to right this ship? Because the people that want to say, well, even if we go plan B that we talked about, rookie quarterback, rebuild this thing, are they going to do the things to get right? Because there's 3 different ways to add talent to your team in this league. Draft is 1, trade is 2, free agent is 3, and to year after year ignore the third part that I mentioned in free agency and think that you're going to get over the hump. It's just not going to happen. I mean, the last year of Garrett here on his final year, right, with the team and what they did and what they went through, is they left $20 million on the table. Look, and be clear, Cowboys Nation, whatever is set aside for the Cowboy cap, the owners can't pocket like, oh, we didn't spend $20 million. Oh, we're pocketing this $20 million this year. Like, they don't get it. It just rolls over. Like, they can't touch it. And even still, you left $20 million on the table. Are you telling me $20 million couldn't have brought a better set of players in here to help this team get over the hump last year, or you just didn't want to? I get it. They sold us on, well, we got to pay Dak. Well, guess what? You didn't pay Dak. Or better yet, right? Well, they sold us on, well, we can't pay Byron Jones because we're going to bring back Robert Quinn. We had to pick between Jones and Robert Quinn. Well, guess what? You didn't sign either one of them. Like, I remember, like, people forget the fodder of what they say, and I think that Jones lived off that aspect of, well, we'll say some shit, but 2-3 weeks from now, nobody will remember what they said. I remember it, though. And it's a lot of lies. And look, and I get to a certain extent, as coach speak, GM speak, you have to put the brave face forward and say certain things. But again, as we talk about those that want to hold on to what we have, that's 8-8, 9-7, maybe 10-6, depending on the schedule, versus the idea of starting anew, and this front office is going to do what they have to do on a rookie quarterback contract to go all the way in. Yeah, we heard, oh, well, they try to trade. How's Minka Fitzpatrick doing up there in Pittsburgh, by the way? Was it?
He's doing great.
Like 9 interceptions in less than 20 games or something like that.
Yeah.
And he dropped a second one today, by the way. And they offered a second to Taco instead of giving up the first, right? You dabbled 2 times with Jamal, right? You've done different things to try to address that position. Meanwhile, when you had a chance to draft Thornhill, you took Tristan Hill. So I mean, it's just a lot of those different, head scratchers, man. I don't know. That's the disheartening thing as we sit here right now at 3-8 and look forward and where we're going to be picking it in the top 10 or maybe top 5. And we talk about, getting Dak back in here and doing this, or we talk about, hey, if you're going to get rid of Dak, maybe go get Tritz and Trevor Lawrence and whatever the case may be. It's just very frustrating to be like, okay, what changes can be made to really get this team over the hump?
Oh, listen, again, you always gotta get better at player personnel. End of the day, if you're gonna let the coaching staff make a decision on some play, like Marinelli taking Tristan Hill over
Juan Thornhill.
You got to make sure you got the right coaching staff that understands what they're picking. It understands what you need. Taco Charlton is another one. Willie McClay wanted T.J. Watt. Garrett wanted Taco Charlton.
Marinelli said he wasn't sure how Watt would hold up against the run. That's why he went Taco. But at the end of the day, Taco played. But they can say what they want to. It's a lie. Taco basically played D-Law's position. They were tagging D-Law, and they didn't know if they was going to deal done with D-Law. So they tried to double down and bet against what they had to do. So again, bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much. So again, you got to make better decisions. Like again, last year's draft with McCarthy and the new staff, I loved it. McCarthy saw CeeDee Lamb right there. Is either take the best player available or take a knee in K'Lavon Chaisson or a cornerback. But K'Lavon Chaisson draft wise was the right pick if they would have went that route. But come to find out, no, get the best player.
Yeah, look, it's not debilitating. Like they actually talked about how well he's healing. He's ahead of schedule. This isn't an Alex Smith situation. He'll be ready to go basically before probably right before the beginning of February. He's good to go.
Here's another thing.
Also, great question, Steven. Director, VP, president, player personnel. Like they gave three different titles before player personnel.
Stephen Jones is the president, and he's vice president.
Yeah, so
he's not Stephen.
Just give him how about just calling GM?
I mean, his role as a GM, he does get the guys. He does make up the chart. Listen. Willie McClay said this. He had more fun.
Well, Rush. Well, fuck it, damn it, shit. We're at 200 now. I love it. By the way, for those that don't know, every customer goes to a tip jar, and at the end of the year, we are donating that to our veterans suicide prevention. Shout out to our guy Brian Double is not here tonight. Beard Gang. And we're donating for every cuss word. We put a dollar in the jar, and we're going to donate it at the end of the year. All right, go ahead, Swam.
That's fucking awesome.
201.
201. There you go.
201.
But again, like I said, Willie McClay has said that this is the best draft as far as with the coaching staff. The communication was 3 times better. Again, he was a lot more vocal when we got Robinson in the fourth round, fourth round.
Fifth.
No, fifth round. Okay, we got him in the 5th round. He was that's his pet cat. He definitely was. It was a definitely better combo than with the old staff.
Right. And salute McCarthy because he told he told Willie and them said, "Hey, player over scheme. Bring me players. We'll make it work." So big shout out. I mean, big shout out to that. But I mean, can I see again? We've seen the first 4 round picks. Look, and we saw the 7th round pick in DiNucci.
Yeah.
Can we
Robinson
see?
Yeah.
Can I see the 5th and the 6th?
Why not?
Can I see the 5th and the 6th? We've seen
those guys. Man.
Yeah, we've seen everybody but Anai and Robinson.
Right.
I just want to see them, man. But not to hold you up too long. I mean, we've ran on a long ass time swim. But again, whenever you're on the Turkey Day leftovers, right? And you just want to talk some Cowboys football, little off script, a little different things, man. We want to get with y'all and see what y'all thought. I think, I do think as much as we see some Dak hate here and there in pockets, I do think a lot of Cowboys Nation wants Dak back. I really
Of
do.
course.
And that's the smart bet. That is absolutely unequivocally the smart bet. You don't jettison a top 8 to top 6 quarterback. This guy can get it done. We just got to figure out the other moving pieces around it. Look, one more thing before we leave, because it just hit me. Cowboys Nation, everybody that's hooking around YouTube, Facebook, let me know. Chime in, let me know. You have one thing you can do this offseason. One thing you can pull, one trigger. Look, we're taking Dak off the board. I don't want Dak on the board for this. Let's say we re-sign Dak. I don't care. All right. Taking Dak off the board. One thing that you could make happen for this Cowboys team, what is your one thing that you would do? One thing.
Signing Justin Simmons to safety.
Justin Simmons the safety for Spoon. I want to see him in the comment section. I want to get him up here before we get out of here. I think if I could do one thing, if I could wave my magic wand and I could do one thing for Cowboys Nation with this team, I think it would be make Mike McCarthy the offensive coordinator for the West Coast offense. I'm not saying you got to fire Kellen Moore.
I like that. It's slick, but I like it.
I'm not saying you got to fire Kellen Moore. Kellen can stay on the staff.
Yeah. Listen,
I'll Kansas City. Right. I want, if I could change one thing going into next season, I want Mike McCarthy. I want Mike McCarthy to install his offense and be the play caller.
No, I like that.
That's what I want.
That's a good one. I really do like that one.
OLB, inside LB. Which one? That's two. Give me one. Golden Child said, rehire Garrett so I can fire him again. Man. That's tragic. Man, let Garrett do what he's doing, man. Let me do what he's doing. Gibson said, hey, that's okay. Hey. Get the trade. Get that trade roller. Get McCarthy for OC. Man, we get a hashtag going in the whole nine. Make McCarthy bringing this offense, let him be the play caller. That's where I'm at. My man Val Specker said inside linebacker. Who do you want though? Are you talking about draft or are you talking about free agency? Which one do you want though? But yeah, I mean, I think for me, if I could do one thing this all season,
I'll move.
If we're keeping the status quo going, McCarthy, I brought you here. I don't need you to be a walk around coach. I know you're good with quarterbacks the whole nine. I need you making them play calls. You're vested. You've done it. You were a Super Bowl play caller with the West Coast offense. Let's go get. Can we get a fullback in this damn thing? Hello. Yeah. Can I get a fullback? Can we get our coon from Green Bay up down in this thing? Can we get one?
I can't wait for the offseason. I can't wait. I cannot wait for this offseason. Hopefully
I will say this, Spoon. I will say this. I do think McCarthy will not sit on his hands. Like we know, Garrett, I think Garrett year to year, and here's the next thing to the McCarthy experience. Year to year, for the most part, yeah. I mean, there was a defensive coordinator here, there, whatever. But whatever. I mean, for the most part, Garrett kind of sit on his hands. I don't think McCarthy's going to sit on his hands, and I do like that. So, I mean, now he definitely hasn't sat on his hands on the fourth quarter with these damn fake ass punts, but that's fine. That's fine. I mean, hey, look, he's been aggressive. It's okay. We'll roll with that. But with that being said, Spoon, damn it, Spoon. Man, we got time. Spoon, dadgummit, we can't leave up out of here. It's been over a week since the people have done seen us. Can't leave out of here without Spoon's minute. What am I doing? I am tripping. Spoony, the people hang around to the very end anyways for Spoon's minute. I know that's why Russ Turner's here. Spoonie, if you hung around this long, Spoonie's minute, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Cowboy Nation, we are in the last month of football. We got 5 games remaining. We have the Ravens next Tuesday, followed by the Bengals, followed by the 49ers, followed by the Eagles, and then the Giants. I don't know if we're going to go win a division. We don't know. Mathematically, we look good. We still in it, but The way we playing, do we deserve to? No. But here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. Here's the thing. This has been a bad year for all of us, whether it's just football or whether it's personal with what we're going through with the outside stuff. You know, the Stephen King movie cloud. But I will say this, Cowboy Nation. Hang in there. Stay in there. Stay tough with us. Understand, sometimes in order to go to the light, we got to crawl in the dark. We are crawling in the dark. Yes, we are. But we will get to the light. In order to get to the light, we had to have faith in what this team is going to do next year. We got to be able to be with each other, hang with one another, talk with one another. Don't be enemies. At the end of the day, there are good things to like about what this Cowboys team could do going forward. You know what that is? A full off season. Number one. Full off season to do the things that they want to do. There's no rush. It will be a lot of plenty of times for them, the Cowboys, to put the stats together, put the scheme once together, and for the most part, have the best players on the team. So with that being said, relax yourself, calm down. Don't get at it with one another. You know, we're going to have segment where Dak's going to be and Dak's not going to be here. But at the end of the day, the one thing we need to have in common is be all in it for this star right here. And I'm going to tell you this. When the season is over, it's party time. Because Cowboys will be back.
That part, Spoon. That part. As always, brother, I appreciate you for the Spoonies Minute. Man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us on the, typically Tuesday. We bounce back on a Wednesday. This little freestyle session with y'all, man. It's what we do. Obviously, we hope everybody had a fantastic Turkey Day. We are moving forward. Obviously, we're in December, right? Christmas, full speed ahead. We're about to get up out of this 2020. We hope 2021 doesn't say, hey, hold my beer real quick. Hopefully, we're good on that end, obviously. Man, we got 5 more games left, no matter what the Spoon said. Let me backdoor that. 5 more games, because you know what? No matter what, as soon as that last game is over, no matter when it is, we're going to be like, oh, God, I can't. Oh, my God, so much time. So I got to wait. So definitely hug your loved ones. Enjoy the ride for the last 5 games. And enjoy the process and what's going forward, man. I think, Spoon, you had a lot of the right things. As always, time to pay a little bit of bills. Facebook, if you're watching outside of the Stargame group, join that. Also, we have a Stargame page. Man, like and follow that. For those that are on YouTube, appreciate you. Shout out. Come over to Facebook. We'll get you involved in over here. But for y'all on Facebook, man, shoot over to Stargame Podcast is the name of the YouTube channel. Hit that sub. Hit that notification bell. Man, we're trying to grow it up. So we're almost to 100. We just started, a couple of, about 2 months ago. We're kind of slow grinding the YouTube, almost to 100 already. So we're loving that. On Twitter, as it says on the bottom of the screen, your_guy_Knicks. Spoonie is Spoonie881. And of course, Mary Ella, who is not here tonight. Maybe she's got some potatoes or something. I don't know what she was doing last night. Stargame Beauty on Twitter as well. Man, come follow us when we enjoy y'all. Man, we appreciate y'all. Hey, man. We're picking fourth.
Another one.
Ravens on Tuesday. Ravens on Tuesday.
Another thing before we head out, DJ, just so everybody to know that once the season is over, we're gonna have some very good draft material.
Yes.
To share with everybody. So it's gonna be fun.
It may be a new face for the draft shows. Stay tuned. Stay tuned on that. But yeah, it doesn't stop, man. I mean, we do this during the season, the preseason and whatnot, but we are definitely going to be amping up our draft coverage this year for sure, whether we're able to go to the draft or not, but we're definitely going to be amping that up, working on the back scenes of some weekly draft shows and just talk about different things and what's going on in Cowboys Nation and breaking down this film and building our big board. I think this year what we're going to do, me and Spoon always build a board every year, but we never really bring it to the people. And I think the thing that we're going to do is we're going to build a board of our top maybe 20 is what we talked about, Spoon. I know we're still fluctuating, and then we're going to up and down every week. We're going to up and down as we go through our process and what we're doing. So get ready for some draft talk as well as the end of the season. we're definitely going to be a little bit more active than we have been in the off seasons before, no doubt. Hey, man. Ravens on Tuesday. It's so weird saying that.
Yeah.
Tuesday. At least it's not Wednesday. At least it's Wednesday afternoon, though.
Yeah.
That part. Appreciate you as always. Typically, we go on Tuesdays. Obviously, we play next Tuesday. So I guess you'll catch us next Wednesday again, man. Again. My guy Isaac says, can I build a draft board with you guys? Hey, man, we'll do something. Hey, we'll jump in there. We'll talk about it. Yeah, we're all about the people, man. We'll definitely figure it out for sure. Me and Spoon have been building draft boards for over a decade. It's going to be a fun time. And we can't wait, little thing maybe we've been a little tentative to do, but man, we can't wait to do it with y'all, man. It's gonna be a fun time. I can't wait for it and kind of go from there. So we appreciate you as always. Cowboys on Tuesday. We'll see what happens. Maybe me and Spoon do a special post game, and then we'll pop